What's good, YouTube? Today we're here with Tony. And what'd you top with?
I got top 32. I got top 32 today with Memento.
Oh my God! All right, let's get to the deck profile.
Sure. We have 3 Witch. It's Rhoda for the deck, and then it reborns any level 2 or lower from the grave. 2 Darkblade instead of 3 because I played the Goblin quick play. So I played 2 Goblin, and you want to reduce the number of normal summons, even though you have a lot of 1-card starters. 3 Horse. This is the best extender. You summon it if you have no monster, only Memento. It foolishes up to the level. 2 Goblin. It's really relevant, especially with the quick play now. And then you have the one of important ones: Gaddock, Sheeply, Mace, Akahiron, Trihorn, and the big guy. This guy is like your best card to send because it comes itself after a monster effect. Poly on summon and foolish the card once destroyed. Searches any card. This guy's pop card, which is relevant for Yugioh. And then this card lets you attack directly, summons itself for free, and adds back all your resources. So that card, and then obviously the boss monster. So that's all the Memento cards I played.
Wait, what's this card do?
Oh, yeah, this is Goblin. It comes up like whatever. Like a lot of times, like the goal is to end with these 2 cards in your hand, or you search them on your opponent's turn. But this card was really important this weekend because all with the Yugioh card targeting and Paradise. This card says if you control him, you discard him during the main phase, and for the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot target your Memento cards. So when they would go like Lacrima and Paradise, you just chain this. If he's on like turn 3, if this is on the field, you just keep this in your hand, and then they can't Desiree send your guides to stop you from attacking directly. Or like Yugioh, they just can't pop your cards. So like by turn 3, if you keep this in your hand because this guy's already on the field, they just can't win. They just can't target you. They might get one because the way it's worded is that a target for the rest of the turn. So if they've already targeted a card, then like that card will get targeted. So you have to watch. But like yeah, this card just won me a lot of games this weekend by keeping one in my hand at all times.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, one question: would you consider playing the Fiendsmith cards because there's so many like in the format right now? Would you consider it?
No. With the new ban list out, you know, you can experiment. Maybe you don't need as many hand traps, but I thought coming into this weekend, I thought Snake Eyes would still be relevant, and with Yugioh, I felt like I just needed a hand trap war. And like, yeah, Fiendsmith has this crazy thing where you can like one engraver can get you to the Goblin, so it's more consistent. But I thought I would just rely on a pure engine, and pure engine plays better in the hand traps. You can play around Fulos and Pirellia and Droll a lot better than what the Fiendsmith cards do. So that was the logic behind that.
Fair enough.
For the spells, we have 3 Bone
The
Bardy,
Bone Zone.
Cards broken as or special summons, and then it comes up with him. Not so much because we have him now to attack directly, but sometimes it does come up where he's 5k. You banish this from the graveyard. If he's the only guy on the field, he attacks everything and pierces, so that's 5k into every body, so you just die. 2 fusions instead of 3. You can brick on it. It's only once per turn. It does suck when you open like 4 Memento monsters and you're like, you lose to a single imperm, but like it's the risk because you don't want to brick on this, but it's fine. The 1 field spell that's really relevant, you search it off, the one of the fusions, and then the final one is the Goblin quick play, the E-Tele, so that's why we play 2 goblins. We play 2 goblins to summon for the deck and avoid hand traps like Veiler on Witch.
Tony!
If you notice, that's all I have in the Memento cards. I did not main a trap card. I didn't think it was relevant. I wanted hand traps, and I thought my engine alone can just win me game 1. And if I lost the roll, the trap would actually just be a brick. So I didn't main any traps.
Too many bones.
So the rest of it is just hand traps. I didn't play any Prosperity or Rhodas. I didn't want to lose the droll and stuff. So it's 3 Fuas, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, and then 2 Nib, 1 Mourner, 1 Ogre. The 2 Nib is simply because I didn't want to open multiple Nib, and it's only good when you pair it. And sometimes when you hand trap them, they don't even play into Nib. The 1 Mourner is, I actually thought Snake Eyes would be still relevant, but apparently the new decks just made it obsolete. But it was fine. It was the 41st card. It helped siding a lot. Like, it's weird because I wanted to play 40, and I took out the consistent cards, but I wanted hand traps. So it is what it is. But sometimes it's fine. Like, you could just set this, and then you activate this, and summon the Goblin from deck. And it happened over the weekend where he Pirellia'd me. I double checked with the Pirellia. I was like, oh, you don't draw when I set. So I set, summoned this, and I full comboed, and he just nagged a card. And then one time during a guy, he double Pirellia'd me, and I made the full board because I didn't need a normal summon or summon from hand. So it's really fun to play around those cards.
Nice. Let's go to the extra deck.
Sure. The extra deck is 3 Creation King. It's really important to play 3 because when you fuse 1, you send 1 off the extra deck his effect, so you can search the field spell. And then you always keep 1 in rotation, because if you need a fuse, you can always put this back to make this one. And you want 1 in the grave as well to come back from the big guy. He just pops everything. He target your guy, target them, blows everything up. One guy ulti slayered this. I was like, okay, and I went cheaply and I just remade it. I'm like, nice ulti slayer. Yeah.
Awesome.
2 of this guy. You can get away with 1, but sometimes in a grind game when they hand trap you and this guy's stuck in the grave and you can't put it back, you don't have any way to fuse because a lot of times you have to like fuse for 2 before you destroy sometimes, so you can't make the 3rd one this, so you have to make this. And this guy's really important because he pops, so it triggers your cards, searches 2, and he floats. So it's really relevant just to play 2 of that. The last fusion Guardian Chimera. Previously, you don't really make this too much because you want to make this guy because he's engine. He gets you follow-up recursion and he pops more than this. But with the weekend happening with Yugioh, this matchup was just like the reason I wanted to play this deck is because if you could trigger Bone Party with him, that's 2 pops, and then this can pop like 2 or 3 cards, and then somehow if Yugioh was still playing, you use the fusion and you make this, you draw cards and pop 2 more cards, and then Mace takes a card and they can't target me, so like I just pop everything they do. So I made this a lot this weekend simply because Yugioh kept extending. Anima, Dark, IP, Herald, SP, Selene and Access Code. Usually end your end board with these guys. If it was Nib, I make this. If I had full combo, they didn't really interact with me, you could end on this. This is for SP or making this. These I never made Access Code. Selene got Ogre twice. And then these 2 cards I never made, and that's probably a mistake. But building my deck, because of these 2 cards, I had to make concessions. I cut Lina, and it did come up a couple times over the weekend, because you go Lina into this, and then Access Code, bring back Witch, search Horse, and then pop 2 cards so you can't respond, and then you have an empty field because Access Code's gone. I never made this. This should have just been Lina, because Malice was still in the format, and Snake Eyes, so you could take like the Witch. This should have just been a Lina. And then the last 2 cards is going to be Typhon and this. Typhon does come up sometimes. Sometimes you can't break the Yugioh board 100%. So like you fight as much as you can, make them lose all their resources. You break as much as you can, summon this, you bounce the guy, attack over the duo drive, and then you set your spell and traps and you just play on their turn, and then you just, like I said, you pop their cards and they can't XYZ summon. And then obviously this is because I played Ulti Slayer. I was scared of Baguska and Detonator, and sometimes it's just hard to play through, so Ulti Slayer, it turns off the cross too, so that was a good choice. When I drew Ulti Slayer, it was good.
That's awesome. All right, let's go to the side.
3 Parelia, it's pretty standard. 1 Ogre, 1 Nib. The Nib only was there for Malice. It's a shifter deck, and shifter kind of like beats me, so the Nib was important to see the 3rd. That was the only time I ever wanted to like brick on Nibs. And then the Ogre was for the Mourner switch out, and other times when like going first, you just side out cards. So like I said, the 41st card just helped with siding patterns. The 3 Ulti Slayer was good. Call by the Grave for hand traps and going first. Like Snake Eye effect, sometimes you just lose to 1 hand trap because you don't have extenders, so like it helps. And shifter. The only trap I sided was Fracture Dance. I was talking with Froggy from our locals, and he said like, well, Cranium Verse isn't good, I don't miss it. And I'm like, are you sure? And then I thought about it on the airplane. I was like, yeah, that card's just bad because you need the big guy on the field for that card to resolve, like to negate like the Apple effect on the field. And that card can just be outed by Ogre, it can be outed by this, it could be out by Detonator. Like that card is so outable nowadays that like it's not going to stick, and a card does nothing unless he's on the field, and if you get hand trapped, you're not ending on anything. But at least with this, even if you don't control him, you could still pop a single card instead of 2. So like this card was just better. And like you'll see here, because I played Thrust, like worst case I could set it if I open one of these guys. So like this was just significantly better, and I do not regret not cutting Cranium. And then I played 2 Thrust and then 3 Thrust targets. These 2 are kind of self-explanatory. This is for all the XYZ decks and fusion decks, and then this is for Tempai. And then this just had like a layer. I didn't want to brick on Thrust, and I needed more cards to respect for Malice just in case, because I wasn't 100% sure about that matchup. So this covers, so like if you could Yugioh and you could book them, and since you don't really play Links that much, you can just book the cards. Or if they play Fiendsmith, you just cook them with the Fiendsmith cards. And same thing with Tempai, right? Either of these cards can save you if they go battle phase, right? You can just Duramacan them, or before they go battle phase. So it just worked out a lot. And that was the side.
All right, that was the deck profile. Any closing thoughts and shoutouts?
Yeah, I thought the deck was just a good choice for the event. I've been playing it for locals for fun. Stephen Froggy Logan from locals was teaching me the deck. He's still better than me at it, but I learned a lot from him. Shout out to the cameraman who's telling me that this deck was a good matchup in Yugioh, and I played a lot. I played 1 Flower Guardian, which was round 1, and then I played 2 Malice and a Tempai, and the rest was, sorry, Yugioh mixed match. Like some of it was pure, some of it was Fiendsmith. But like, so I just made a meta call, and it worked out in my favor. I just unfortunately bricked in the top 32. So like I went to a roll and I had double Fua, Ash, Veiler, and Fusion, and he had Tactics, Cross Out, and Ash. So like my hand just traded with the spells and I got destroyed. So unfortunately I bricked, but
hey, we got the mat.
yeah, I got
sleeves,
another
and
mat,
and
another
the sleeves,
mat.
and the sleeves.
Oh yeah, sleeves are somewhere in a bag. No, but, yeah.
No, Tony. Alrighty. Well, I think it's Team Beige signing off. Peace.